Hello everyone, my name is TheSirMikkel and it's time for another countdown video. Today we go down memory lane and take a look at 10 memorable random events. These are some of my personal favorites along with some of the player favorites. I myself am hoping that these events will one day make a return. I understand the random events were seen as very annoying to some players, but it would be great if they could return with the toggle option, in my opinion. So, if your favorite wasn't mentioned in this list, let me know in the comments below. Let's begin! Number 10. The Quizmaster. The Quizmaster was a random event in which you were told, "It's your lucky day," and then teleported to a completely dark area with 2 projectile lights pointing at the player and the Quizmaster. Then you'd play a game of odd one out. There were 4 questions with 3 items displayed. The game was simple: pick the odd one out, get 4 successive questions right and you were rewarded with a random event gift, then teleported back to where you were. This random event was a reference to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm sure we all tried this event a lot of times, I know I did. Number 9. Gravedigger. Gravedigger was a random event that players might have triggered when engaged in any type of activity. When the event occurred, a gravedigger named Leo would teleport the player to an old graveyard that contained 5 open graves, each containing a coffin. Leo would then speak, explaining what he wanted the player to do for him. This included picking up all the coffins, peeking inside to determine what bones are in each coffin and placing them in the right grave according to the spinning headstone. After being teleported back to RuneScape, the player would receive a reward for correctly completing Leo's task. After the event was closed, you can now find Leo by the Easter Doin Church as a gravedigger. He's really not that good at this job either. I was rarely sent out to this event myself, but it was a great one either way. Number 8. Evil Bob. Evil Bob was a random event set on a small island. In the event you had to catch the correct fish-like thing, as told by the servant, and then use the uncooking pot to make it raw. Then you talked to Bob and he ate it if it was the correct one. If it was incorrect, he would say it was disgusting. The goal was to make Bob fall asleep. I chose to put this on the list because Evil Bob has become such an iconic character in RuneScape history. Number 7. Surprise Exam. In Surprise Exam, the mysterious old man teleported players into the classroom, which had its own music track called School's Out. The event had a school theme because it was released at the start of the summer holidays. When it was released, Jagex described the random event with the quote, "Just when you thought school was out, surprise! It's an exam for you." The player had to answer 3 questions from Mr. Modout, a red dragon who was the teacher. After answering 3 questions correctly, Mr. Modout would tell the player to leave through one of the 4 doors throughout the classroom. If the player attempted to exit through a wrong door, he or she would be prompted to ask for directions. If the player chose the correct door, they would be teleported to the location they were at prior to receiving the event. I really loved the design of this location and it was a fun idea. Number 6. Drill Demon. In Drill Demon, players were asked to complete 4 exercises that the demon instructor Sergeant Damien commanded them to perform. Upon completing his demands, Damien would teleport the player back to where he or she was and give him or her a random event gift. The Drill Demon random event took place in a small roped-in exercise area surrounded by an unreachable obstacle course. For some reason I really loved this event, it had a weird charm over it. Number 5. Kiss the Frog. This was the very first random event I ever tried. In the event, the player was teleported to the Land of Frogs where you'd speak to Frog Herald. The player then had to speak to the frog with the crown, which was the frog prince or princess who he had to kiss in order to break a spell. Doing so would reward the player with a random event gift, which contained the option of the prince or princess outfit. The frog prince and princess can now be found in the Enchanted Valley by using fairy rings. Number 4. The Maze. The maze was a random event where the player was teleported to a random spot inside a spiral-shaped maze. To complete the challenge, the player had to reach the center and touch the strange shrine there to receive a prize. There were several chests that could be opened along the way with extra loot. A percentage bar appeared when the player was first teleported inside the maze. The bar told how much of the prize was remaining, so completing the maze as fast as possible was suggested. In the maze, the mysterious old man would follow you around. Being the creepy man he is. Arguably, the maze provided some of the best rewards compared to other random events. This was also one of the more challenging ones, but it was a fun little challenge. Number 3. Prison Pete. Evil Bob appeared and teleported the player to a prison escape room. The player then had to locate balloon animals that resembled those shown to them when they pulled the lever on the wall. A prison key was obtained in the player's inventory if the player popped a balloon animal. If the key was used on Prison Pete, he would try to unlock the exit gate. The player had to give him 3 correct keys in a row to leave the cell and escape to freedom. The player had 15 minutes to finish this event or they would fail. I actually once got stuck in this event. I don't know if it was a glitch or if I simply failed badly. Number 2. Freaky Forester. In this event, players were whisked away to a small clearing in a remote forest in Gilnow, where they were asked to kill a pheasant with a certain number of tail feathers. The players simply had to give the correct raw pheasant to the forester, and then they were able to leave the area via a portal nearby. Players were rewarded with a random event gift. However, if the player gave him the wrong pheasant, they would be teleported to a different area and would not receive a reward. Attacking the pheasants always dealt 50 life points, a one-hit kill, and gave no experience. Players could choose to get pieces of the Letterhose instead after successfully completing this random event. Why did I choose this event as number 2? I don't know, I just for some reason really liked this event. Number 1. Mime. The Mime was a random event that was added on 2nd of August 2004 and removed on 24th October 2012, in which the mysterious old man suddenly teleports players to the Mime artist stage. The player had to copy the Mime's actions correctly to complete the event. The Mime would perform an emote, and the player had to choose the same emote from a list of 8 emotes shown in the dialog box. When the player performed enough correct emotes, they would be awarded with a random event gift. If a player rotated the camera to look at their audience, they would see 3 strange watchers, the colors of these 3 being correspondent with the colors of the 3 main guards, Saradomin, Gothics and Samarak. There were a total of 84 chairs in the area and 81 were empty. This was my personal favorite random event. I think it's because of the creepiness of the area and how great it actually looked. The audience members added a sense of mystery to it as well. Watch out for the mimics! Well, that was my list. Did you agree? Did you not agree? Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you all in the next video.